welcome guys. Welcome back to Real Talk with Ejay. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? We are back with a sharp dose of motivation, served with truth, with a sprinkle of pure vibes. Yes, we are back to give you premium content. We are back again with you for your viewing and listening pleasure. For those of you that are tuning in from all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Acast, Deezer, TuneIn. Thank you. It is always an honor to have you guys here. And my family on YouTube, hi. Thank you for always tuning in every week. Please don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And most importantly, do not forget to follow and subscribe to Nectar Studios. Real Talk with Ejay is powered and proudly powered by Nectar Studios. Guys, you know our drill, our tradition here. We usually start our show with our quotes for today. So our quotes for today goes a little something like this. The very common thing about all success stories since the Big Bang is your ability to bring orderliness to the vision. I will take that again. The most common thing about every success story since the Big Bang is your ability to bring orderliness to your vision, to the vision. And that quote is by Mr. Ejay Bamidele. And I completely agree. And it's funny enough, it kind of coincides with our topic for today. Because if you are chasing success, if you want to attain any kind of success, the one thing you need to do, or you have a vision that you need to fulfill, staying on it, that consistency, giving it structure, organizing yourself, that's the only way you can attain that success. If not, there will be the unfortunate thing of entropy that is going to come and disrupt that order. So you have to stay on that vision, give it order, and then you can attain your success. All right, guys. So before I'm going to go on a quick break, actually. So before we bring in our guests, today is a power-packed show today. So I want to get in as quick as possible because there's so much to unpack. So stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Real Talk with Ejay. So today's topic is something I believe that a lot of us need to hear, including me. And guys, trust me when I say I have a very special guest in the house. So our topic for today is sweet in the middle, failure and success, and somewhere in between. And I couldn't find any other person to invite to come on board than a very, very interesting, intelligent, well-spoken. I'm just going to read his profile, guys, just before you know. So today with me, I have a very, very important and special guest in the house, Dr. Kolawole Olatubosun. He is a medical doctor. He is a public health specialist and a development expert. He has worked with different indigenous and international organizations across Africa in the prevention and control of communicable and non-communicable diseases like HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, cervical cancer, and most recently, COVID-19. He is an entrepreneur with a business interest ranging from educational services and to management consulting. He's an author of one of my very, very favorite books, The Gig Testimony, which is his latest book, but he has written 2 books already. He is married with 3 beautiful children. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my friend, my mentor, Dr. Kolawole Olatubosun.
It's nice to be here.
Finally! Do you know how long we've been saying we're going to do this for such a long time? So I'm so happy that we finally gotten chance to do it. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So before we go, I have a lot to pack today. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about I call it sweet in the middle, failure and success. But before I start, I must say that I am a huge fan of your book, The Gig Testament. I've read. I met you, I think 2020. You came for a conference that I attended, and you spoke. And after you spoke, I was so And like I was blown away by every single thing. I've never seen someone walking around with so much wisdom, but not just any kind of wisdom. You have depth and well researched
Thank you.
knowledge. So I read your book, and I must say I'm blown away. Talk to me about that. The Geek Testament. What is that about?
Okay, the Geek Testament is something that came out of a burden. I observe quite a lot. For those that know me, I could be quite vivacious, playful. But there's a flip side to me that is a bit introspective. Not even a bit, a lot. I do a lot of thinking. And I had an epiphany once. I came across a physics textbook of, and I hated physics while I was in school. And so I was looking at the book. I was like, this PNOKK, if you remember. And it was like I was reading something else.
Yeah.
I thought this was physics.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing philosophy. So I had to return the book to the owner.
Yeah.
And I went as a full-fledged medical doctor to buy secondary school physics textbook.
Yeah.
Because that was the book I saw.
Yeah.
And I started. So it was like layers beneath those principles.
Yeah.
And it was like I was seeing something else.
Something new.
So I became disturbed by what I was seeing, and I had to just write.
Yeah.
I had to just write, and this is how the world is.
Yeah.
This is how the world works. And suddenly I started seeing lessons, philosophies, wisdom, as you say, in cold scientific facts. I mean, this is just pure, cold, boring science.
Wow.
But suddenly it came all alive, and I had to just write. And at some point I had written over 100 pages. Oh, this looks like a book, so let's get it published. So that's how the Geek Testament
So
came
I'm
about.
gonna start the show with a quote from your book, and it says, "The enchantment of order in any form is working against the natural tendencies of the universe towards maximizing disorderliness." I think that's from your chapter 1 on entropy.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about that?
Okay. Yeah. So I mentioned earlier, I observe the world as it is, not as I would want it to be.
Yeah.
And the people that do that the best are the scientists. They observe. And there's no need reinventing the wheel. Go look at what the previous scientists have done.
Yeah.
As someone said, you stand on the shoulders of giants, so that you can see further.
Yeah.
So the laws of thermodynamics are there. They are not disputed. The first law is about the law of conservation of energy. That's talking about energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but changes from one form to the other. That's another. Let's just keep that one. Yeah. The second one is the second law of thermodynamics, which is basically the law of entropy, that states that in a closed system, the things in that system organize themselves in order to maximize, in quotes, disorder. So in the world, and I want to harken back to your quote, any form of creation, any form, whether you want to create a Microsoft or you want to create a bowl of afang soup, starts from chaos. You now bring order to that chaos. And eventually, believe me, that order that you have put together will eventually revert back to chaos. What do I mean? Let's start with afang soup. You want to make afang soup. I don't know how to make it, but I know there's a lot of vegetables and a lot of ingredients. You go to the market. They are in different places. You buy the pepper here. You buy the salt here. Then you bring it. So you are it's
bringing order.
So when you see the raw materials of afang soup, you can't eat it. You now have to bring that creative. So at that point, it's chaotic.
True.
At that point, you have to bring it. You have to bring order to it. Now, depending on your skill in bringing the order, that's why this person can cook well. This person cannot cook well. It's just your skill of bringing order to it. Now, even after you've brought order to it, if you eat it, if you eat that food, then it becomes broken down in your body, back to entropy. If you do not eat it, if you do not have a freezer, it will start decaying. Even if you have a freezer, you can't freeze it forever. Now, I've used that afang soup to let you understand how everything in the universe works. The European Union, from the European Union to the Nigerian state, to Africa Union, to Nigeria, to your business, to your marriage. Marriage starting, chaos. This person is here, this person is there. Then there's a creative energy that brings both of them together. They now marry, they love themselves. And from the day they start loving themselves, things are trying to push them apart.
Yeah.
So the universe is, the default state of the universe is chaos.
Yeah.
Even in the Bible, the world was without form.
Form and void.
And the world will always tend to go back to that chaos. So the ability to apply creative energies to chaotic situations will bring about success. Either from creating nation states like Nigeria or to peeling an orange. That is what you need to do. So basically, when you see that, and you also see that even when you've created something good, everything wants to take it
that
back
thing away, back to its original state.
Original state. I've been trying to have 6-pack for, I tell people. And
how is that going?
It's not going well. It's not. You do sit up. You do. The day you finally manage to have an outline of 6-pack,
you stop.
Christmas will just come. You just eat, drink, fish, chicken, and the tummy comes. And it's easier to have chaos and order. So
let me ask this: if failure is entropy, which is
failure is default.
So then, what is success? And if we want to go back to we were talking about God earlier, if God created us to be successful, then why is failure natural? If that is intention for us was to succeed, then why is failure the basic line for everything?
Okay. Now, there are some assumptions in that question I will have to question.
Okay, so let's start with the first one. So if failure is natural, then what is success?
Okay, so the first thing is it's in different layers. Success is as defined by the person involved. Because I don't want us to, and it's a very important starting point, because I don't want us to have rigmaroles trying to attain success and we never defined that success ab initio. Because someone says success is living in a skyscraper. I say, no, success is, living in Oruganam and drinking palm wine and sleeping in the evening. Now, please also, the definition of success has to be informed by knowledge. If that staying in the village is from a place of knowledge, not a place of ignorance, that, this is all like, no. Success has to be informed and it has to be determined for yourself. So if success, there are many definitions. Society defines success in a particular way. If we define success, then Jesus, in a particular way, then Jesus was a failure. I'm not sure he married, he didn't have children, he died at 33, he didn't grow old, he didn't have a house, he didn't have, So by that definition, Jesus was a failure. But based on what his role was, he was a runaway success. Same thing, Apostle Paul probably died in prison. I don't know how else you can fail more than dying in prison and be beheaded. But based on what their roles were and what they wanted to do, they were successful.
So success is determined by your calling, so to speak.
No. Success is determined by you.
By what
from a place of knowledge, determining what you want. And attaining that.
So then why do some people succeed and some don't? Why do you think that disparity
There are multi-layers to this thing. Let's even just take it, success, the usual way. He has money, he's living well, he's healthy. So we could define success, in terms of, I call it personal success, financial success, intrapersonal success. That means you are at peace with yourself.
Just self, inside, That
is a major success,
That's a grand level success.
Yes,
right there.
There's interpersonal success. That means you're at peace with other people. It's also a form of success. Okay? Then there's financial success. There's marital success. Based on what you want. That Reverend Father is successful maritally. He doesn't want to get married. So he has succeeded in not getting married. So that's success. So success is such a subjective thing that except you ask me what I want, you may not be able to determine if I'm successful at it or not, because you may not know. So, but even at that point, let's just succeeding at anything is harder than failing at it. What do you need to fail at anything? Don't do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
That's exactly what that second law of thermodynamics is talking about. The fact that failure is default, failure is easy. Things tend, keyword, spontaneously towards maximizing entropy. Spontaneously means you don't do anything. So what does it take to fail? Don't do anything.
Just exist.
Be. Exactly.
Just be. So in the chapter 3 of your book, you spoke about Darwin's law of extinction, evolution and extinction. So let me ask this: since Darwin's theory of evolution hinges that your ability to evolve or you go extinct, like it's you evolve or you
evolve
go
or perish.
Yeah, which is linking to the what you may call it, survival of the fittest.
Yes, survival of the fittest.
So if that's the case, then would you say that delay is the middle ground between success and failure? Because it's either you're succeeding at something or you are failing at something. So, but then what is that middle? Do you feel like delay is that middle ground?
Yeah, I think that aspect, and I don't want us to miss this really critical aspect you're talking about.
Yeah.
Everyone is always focusing on the end point.
Yeah.
Oh, this person has succeeded.
Yeah.
But there's this interregnum between where you are
and
where you want to be.
Yeah.
I will not want to call it delay. I may want to call it something like undergoing the process. And because it's like you plant a palm tree and it takes 5 years to grow. The 5 years is not delay. The 5 years is how long it takes a palm tree to grow. And that palm tree may never grow. So maybe you can call it delay if it's supposed to take 5 years and it's now taking 20 years. Now, because of the multi-layered way of defining success, you may have delay in one part, but the other layers of your life you're doing great.
Yeah.
So someone, and when we're talking of success, you may be talking about getting a degree or having children or getting married or something. If you do not, if you're being delayed in getting married, but you get a PhD in the interim, so I don't want us to focus on one thing and missing the other thing, because success is never one thing. You may now have aspects that, I'm missing this. Yeah. Oh, I'm not yet Dangote, but hey, I'm healthy.
I'm healthy.
So it's a mindset that one needs to carry while you are in that transition between where you are and where you, in quotes, where you want to be.
Yeah.
And if you really look at it, success is never really a destination in the purest form. Because it's always a continuum. Oh, I want to get married. You not get married. You not get married. You now discover, we need children. Then the children now, the baby now comes. Oh, immunization. Then that child that you finally have been praying for now goes to body house. I mean, come on.
It's like running on tracks that has the what's the obstacle course? Where you run, you jump.
Yeah.
And then when you jump on the first one, you've succeeded.
Yeah.
So, but there are thousands.
Now there's something called the hedonic treadmill.
Okay.
The hedonic treadmill. That is why happiness is at a constant level. You can have spells of being happier, but you will always come to what is called that happiness set point. And the treadmill is you're just walking and walking and walking, but you're not living that one place. So it's like a spike. If something good happens to you, your happiness level spikes. But because happiness is mediated by what is called neurotransmitters, it is broken down in your body. Why nature decides to do that so that you will not continually being happy, maybe it's a way to make sure that you keep pressing ahead. It's like someone that wins the World Cup and we won the World Cup. Then you will expect that kind of excitement the first day. Then you still see the person 6 months after, still like, we won the World Cup. Everybody be like, no, something is wrong.
We're all over it now.
You should be over it. Now, being over it is why success can never be a destination, because by the following morning, the so-called morning after, effect, you are already over it. Oh, you want that degree? Oh, the day after your graduation, what happens?
And what that happens is, if you stay on that, you live in past.
Good.
You will never attain another level of yourself, because as long as you're alive and you're growing, you're always supposed to be attaining a new level every single time.
That is why happiness can never be a set point. Remember, time is moving. So whatever you do at a set point in time, time has moved. I get that before, no be proper. If you have it today, by tomorrow it's already history.
It's already gone.
The only way you can be permanently happy and permanently successful is if something happens and tomorrow doesn't come. Because if tomorrow comes, you're already yesterday's news.
Yesterday's news.
So
there are so many people, even me, I'm also guilty of this, where we interpret process as failure. Simply because we have not gotten it and we are in our waiting season, we automatically look at ourselves as failure. So where depression sets in, anxiety sets in, how do we deal with that? How do we start to admit and accept, like, I'm not a failure, I'm going through the process. So how do we start to think and feel that way about ourselves?
So first thing is, it's a state of mind. And usually all these things are mediated by what you know, your knowledge level. And not just knowledge about books, but self-awareness. Know thyself. The first person you should know is yourself. I am not lazy. I'm trying my best. I'm increasingly, improving my capacity, but I'm not yet there. And that's where majority of us are. There's stuff I want to do. I've tried, I'm pushing, but I'm not yet there. Now, what determines whether you are a failure is, and it's cliche, is if you stop trying. But there are times when you have to stop trying and reconsider and reevaluate what you're doing, whether it's working or it's not working. So that time of, but as long as you don't stop trying to get it, you have not failed.
Speaking of trying and understanding what you're good at, what you're not good at, I read a book by John Maxwell that's talked about, if you want to do something, you need to ask yourself, can I do this thing? Am I good at it? Because sometimes we waste so much time trying to do something that we have no bit. You can't sing to save yourself.
You say singing is your passion.
Singing is your calling.
No, you're going to enter. So I think what you are naturally good at, you should play to your strength.
Yeah.
So for example, I hated mathematics. That's why I'm even shocked. I'm writing books on science and stuff. Right? I hated anything that has to do with mathematics, with physics, with anything. That's why I became a doctor. Because it just read, check, nothing to calculate. Other than just 5 meals of this, 10 meals of that. That only arithmetic, plus, minus, subtraction, and addition. Worst was square root. All this cosine, log, tan, theta, please. And some people will not even go and do further maths. No way. I knew my capacity.
Yeah.
I knew that I was a more literary person. Yeah. I hated it.
Yeah.
I would pass it. I still had an A. So it's not like
anything. Yeah.
But I never liked it. So I quickly played to my strengths. You can't act. And you watch Ramsey Noah and you say you must be. Okay, what can you do? Do that one. There are a million other things you cannot do. Look for what you can do and follow that one. Don't disturb yourself.
And a lot of times I'm also guilty of this because I'm
You're guilty of a lot of things.
I'm guilty of a lot of things. That's why it's real talk. So I have to keep it real. So because these conversations also helps me when I go back and watch them. I'm learning a lot from my guys. I know there are times when I would want to do something and I know that I can't do it. So I will now dedicate so much time trying to learn how to do the things that I can't do so that I can get it done, instead of actually focusing more on what I can do and delegate. Yeah. So it's been a struggle trying to, focus on your strength, but the ones that you can't do, give it to the ones that are good at it.
There's a level of honesty we need.
Yeah.
You have aptitude for some things and you don't for some other things.
Yeah.
Now, by focusing on what you do not have aptitude for and refusing to outsource it or to delegate it, you will come to a lot of grief. Some people are just naturally lazy. just don't
It's
like
their
work.
calling.
It's their calling. They don't have. They love it. And so, if you know you are that kind of person,
There's something for you out
there's
there.
something for you,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to know what to do to help yourself. Whether
Yeah.
you need reminders, whether you need this, now there are some people, they are driven. They don't even need anybody to remind them.
Yeah.
So you need to be honest with your own self-appraisal.
Yeah.
And say, I can do this thing. Look, okay, there are some things that you will do that you 100 years time you will not get.
You'll not get it.
So be realistic and forget all these. If you set your mind to it, it's not everything you set your mind to it. Okay.
If you put your mind to it, work hard.
No, you
wake up every day.
No. You need to be realistic as to, because if you want to give up, and that thing is pushing you, you will not. That's when you will know. And it's usually easy for you.
Yeah.
But you may not have the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I always talk about, people are, be a motivational person, motivational speaker, and that thing has really tanked now.
Oh my God. They've destroyed.
But motivation without opportunity will make you frustrated. But opportunity will bring motivation. So look for what you can do and push.
Now. So because we are winding down, I want you to just talk to us briefly about that thing that I mentioned earlier about the Darwin theory of the survival of the fittest.
Yes.
Just let's elaborate that a little bit. Does it mean that if everyone is out to get what I got, so I have to put up a fight all the time?
It's a fight all the time, ma. Sorry, but the weak will die out.
Wow.
Yes, it's just what it is. The weak companies will die, and the strong companies will gobble it up. The weak marriages will die, and the stronger bonds will survive.
So as long as you're alive,
as long as we are alive,
and we have to keep on.
It's not prayer. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Companies come up every day. So remember I mentioned time passes.
Yeah.
But if you are stagnant and you are not evolving, before you know it, where POSs are everywhere, every corner. Banks are evolving.
Yeah.
Fintechs are evolving.
Yeah.
And because if you do not evolve based on the fact that people are naturally evolving, you will become extinct. And as we close, even the concept of marriage is evolving.
Yes, I agree.
Defines marriage is evolving. And if you stick with what is behind, you go extinct.
That's how we used to do it. That's how we do it. That's how I've always done it. And that's the beginning of your extinction.
That's the beginning of extinction.
Oh my God, Doctor, thank you. So before you go, I want to ask the last question. If water, wind, and fire had a fight, who would win?
Water.
Why? I say wind.
Right.
I would say wind because wind directs everything else. Wind can direct.
Who is the referee first? And how do we determine who won?
Who won? Okay, who dies first?
Die.
All
of them. At least fire will quickly die.
Okay,
then the wind.
So between the wind and water, who do you think they can put up a stronger fight?
Water cannot be compressed. So water is just there. It can become liquid, it can become ice, it can become... So water is more dynamic than wind. Wind is just wind.
But wind, you can't see wind. Wind, you don't know the direction where it's coming, where it's going, but it moves things. And it can also, the waves...
Water can become vapor.
The waves of the ocean is moved by wind. So, what...
But when the wind has blown it, the sea is still there now. Water, is the winner.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kolawole. It was an absolute honor to have you. I can't wait to have you back. And like I said, your book I'm going to have you back because I know your book is power-packed and then there's so many things in your book that I really want us to, dissect and digest. Thank you for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear it, so the sweet in the middle is process. So between failure and success, that place in the middle is process. So walk through the process, allow the process to walk through you. It's only a short period of time. You will get to your destination of success if only you don't stop. As long as you keep going, success is inevitable. Guys, this is Real Talk with Ejay. I am your host, and I will see you next time.